Well, back for a little bit of an info video. It's been kind of boring around here. Really hasn't been nothing going on since the Indy trip. I went to one Cars and Coffee since, and that kind of got rained out, so I didn't see a real point of video in it. Still driving a black car here and there. Brad's car has been kind of sitting, waiting on wheels still. Outside of working on the Camaros a lot, managed to get the camper over here and get it ready. Doing some stuff to it. It's getting all new LED marker lights and tail lights, whatnot. But the real reason for this video is a little bit of an explanation and hopefully demonstration of the fans in these cars. We use the Daily as an example because I haven't touched it tune-wise. It still has AC, everything functions like it should from factory. So I'm started up, let it run, let it get up to temp. It may not get hot enough to start the fans, but we can also use that to our advantage. I should be able to demonstrate how the fans should work. HP Tuners has where I can manually operate them. So despite having some battery issues with that right now, I should be able to rig something up to hook HP Tuners up to it and control it manually. But I'm gonna get it fired up and we're gonna talk while it's kind of warming up. So for right now, should be able to watch everything on here. Let's see, so I should be able to look under data. Probably electrical, if I'm gonna guess. Okay, so there it is. Fan control relay 1. And then 2 and 3. So 1's going to be our low. 2 and 3 are going to be high. So the quick bit of info is in a factory tune, low setting is going to be 223 degrees. High setting is going to be 232 degrees. So that typically equates to right about that 3/4 mark. And then just past that's when the high should kick on, roughly. These gauges aren't always as accurate as they probably should be. If you were to look at this and take a guess based on what you see, you'd say that's a 150. We're actually at 143. So this one isn't too bad, but you can see there is a variance. Right now nothing's on. Low setting is both fans at at a low speed, and then high setting is both fans at a higher speed. And the high speed will definitely be able to hear. You'll see that here in a few. See if I can get in there and I can flick it for you to show you. Yeah, so you can see that's off. Same thing here, it's off. So what's supposed to happen is I'm gonna go ahead and kick the AC on. Okay. So the compressor just kicked. Turn on that. It is showing off. Now, I had to look at deep. I'd have to look in the tune. I don't remember, but there may actually be a pressure threshold within the AC system that will trip that fan. But as you can see, the PCM isn't even commanding it. So the fan's not bad, it's just it doesn't need it right now. So been running the engine about 10 minutes now. Probably 60 degrees outside, so it's probably why it's taking so long. This hit 190 on our coolant temp, and fan control relay 1 has kicked on. So if we come out here, let me get the better angle again. There you go. So both at a low setting. Now I'm gonna go ahead and probably say that is due to the AC pressure, not the coolant temp. Like I said, low setting for the coolant temp itself is gonna be 223, which we can go on my laptop and I'll show you guys. Actually, I can even just pull the tune directly off this car to show you, exactly what we're working with. Another note, So that's now dropped to 186 from those fans kicking on. But what I want to show you, so as that says 186, we are pretty much right at the center. So about 195 actually showed right at the center. So that's really why when I see people post about this stuff on the pages and everything and ask like where they gauge should be, center is where you want to be. As long as you're in the center, you know, a couple clicks each direction, you're fine. Stop traffic, it's going to creep up a little bit because you don't have no airflow. So, you know, 2 maybe 3 ticks above half, but as long as soon as you start moving it comes back down and maintains, you're fine. So I think what I'm gonna do now, I'm gonna go ahead and get the laptop and set it up so that I can turn on the high function and show you guys what that's supposed to do. All right, so we're about like 20 minutes into runtime and it still never moved from 190. So that's how it should be when you have a dialed in cooling system, which this has everything pretty much brand new. Yeah, that's how it should behave. Anyway, so we've switched over to HP tuners here. We're gonna connect to the car. And this one's showing 192 now, but still on our low setting. What we do is we go to our functions, system. So I'm gonna command fan 1 off. Okay, so that shut them down. And I'm gonna go ahead and fire up fan 2. Feel it, you can audibly hear it, and then like you could definitely feel the air being pushed back. We'll let it go back to do what it wants to. There's that part. I'm gonna shut this down, close her up, and we will look at a tune to see, so I can show you guys what the actual values are. I can't find where I pulled this tune before, so we'll just go ahead and, so we'll just read it right here, right now, as we're sitting in it, so you guys can see exactly what's going on. It takes about 3 to 5 to read these things with HP tuners. DHP, a lot longer. If I don't see what I want to see on this, I'll pull up DHP. There's extra things on there that we can look at. If I can't see the AC stuff on HP, I should be able to see it on DHP, so we'll definitely check that out too. Shh. Alright, so here we go. So fan 1 to the first stage on at 223. Fan 2 second stage 232. And then from factory, it does not utilize the ignition off with the fan on. Nice little feature that's in there though. So this is just to control the AC itself. So I'll look into that. But there you have it. So that's how they all are. 9905. Someone may have to verify for me, but I believe the 4 cylinders are probably the same way. I've never messed with a 4 cylinder as far as ever, so I couldn't tell you for sure. But all the V6s, 9905, SCGT, whatever, all tuned the same with the fans. So I will close this out and we will switch over to tiny tuners, and hopefully with DHP read what the AC is supposed to be doing. Here we go. So here's the O2 stock bin file. Accessories, fans. Now this is different because it's in Celsius. Here we go. So like I thought, so fan 1 pressure. So there's the high and low threshold to activate fan 1, and then same thing, fan pressure 2. You can see that's even higher of a window for the thresholds. So it is in there to run both low and high fans for the AC. I see a lot of people saying that as soon as you hit the AC it's automatically going to kick on the fan. It's not, and there's your proof right there. And as we saw when we were first playing with this thing, I kicked the AC on, it was activated, but it was not calling for the fans. That's not always going to be your quick fix if you have an issue. One other little thing I want to put in there is if you do unplug that coolant sensor, which is underneath the throttle body going into the lower manifold, if you do pull that, it does put the car into like a limp mode, so it's going to run a little funny. but it does kick the fans on, which I could probably demonstrate that. Okay, so no fans right now. Now, no way do I ever recommend doing this on purpose, but this could be an indicator like you have a bad coolant sensor. There you go. So you heard it just kick on just then. It happened maybe 5 seconds after I unplugged that. Right? So if you're in a pinch, it could get you home. Hopefully try to keep the motor cool. See how now you idled up as well. This definitely does not like having that unplugged. Plug it back in. It should all go back to normal. If not, the next key cycle will reset it. But there you have the demonstration that. There we go. So just kick the fans on and idle back down. So like I said, I don't ever recommend really doing that. That's what I got for all of the info part. I guess I can. So we're on the topic of fans. I'll show you a couple examples on how to basically make overrides or bypasses, however you want to call it. I like to do it to where it's still going to function factory like, but I can have control if I really want to. One example is going to be the Casper wiring. I did break that down. Hopefully I got the paper somewhere still, because I was going to recreate that again. I have that on the turbo car. So quick example, I've got the black car here. Like I said, has the Casper fan wiring set up in there. And what I ended up doing was just put it on my switch panel with my lights. And what the Casper wiring does is it plugs everything. It's basically all plug and play. So it still retains all the factory workings of it. Here's all the relays for it, and it just basically activates the high setting on the fly. And then I can open up a book and I will show you guys at the PCM what leads to tie into to do pretty much the same thing. Brad's car, we did that. I put 2 switches down below right about here, and one kicks on the low setting, one kicks on the high setting, but it doesn't really interrupt the factory wiring. So yeah, let's go take a look at that. All right, so for now we're just talking about how to do it at the PCM. So hold it all times. Your power is coming this way, right? Starts at the top. So like I said, the PCM is a ground switch setup. So all it does is give a ground, which then activates your relays. So for low speed on connector 1, the dark green wire is going to be for your low speed, and on connector 1, the dark blue wire is going to be your high speed. Just tie into that, go through the switch, and then from the switch to a ground. That way when you throw the switch, you're basically completing the circuit and activating whatever relay you need to. Now I will tell you, I believe how it works is you have to activate this to be able to activate this one. You can't only do the high speed because of how they have the wire, because of how they have the fans wired. So like usual, hopefully this helps out. Really wanted to clear up a lot of the misinformation out there and just really set the record straight, and that's all I got for this one. Lots of talking, not a lot of playing around, but that's how some of these go. So yeah, thanks for watching. See you on the next one.